at CM Sinclair. What are your expectations from the Chargers offense? And this is an interesting question, Charlie, because I would have said a couple of weeks ago that they would be sky high, that I think they finally got their identity. You can see it, when you actually get your eyes on them in person, the size that they bring to the table, the vision that Jim Harbaugh has for his offense, the vision for what Jim Harbaugh built at Stanford, at Michigan, with the Niners is coming together there. And again, you just see it in the raw size of the group. And then they lost Rashawn Slater. And yes, they're as prepared to deal with a tackle loss as anybody in all of football. First of all, Rashawn Slater's their left tackle. Joe Alt is their right tackle. Joe Alt, who blocks out the sun, is a really good right tackle, but his natural position is actually left tackle. That's what he played at Notre Dame. And so they can flip him right over to the left side, which is, the first shot they're going to take at this. Then they've got Trey Pipkins and Jamari Sawyer as pieces that they can use at the right tackle spot. So I am a little bit concerned about that, but they do have Mekhi Becton to the line. They do have Zion Johnson back. They do have Bradley Bozeman back. So this went from potentially being maybe one of the 3 or 4 best lines in football to maybe just top 10. I mean, losing Slater hurts, but they still have really good players there. And then I think you look across the board, and I think you can see a lot of competition and excitement at different positions. I think the receiver situation is going to be interesting, seeing how it plays out. They obviously took the swing on Mike Williams. That didn't work out. They bring back Keenan Allen. We'll see what he has left. He wasn't great last year in Chicago, but you got to be excited about where you're at with Ladd McConkey. I think Trey Harris has a lot of upside as a receiver. They've got Lambert Smith out of Auburn, a player that they think can add a speed element to their offense. So there's I'd say not an elite group of receivers, but a group of receivers that really sort of fit together in the way that they've been assembled. And then in the backfield, I think you've got potentially Jim Harbaugh's version of what he had with Frank Gore in San Francisco. I'm not saying Omarion Hampton is going to be Gore, because Gore is a Hall of Fame player. But just as far as having the sort of workhorse that you can build an offense around, what they see from Hampton, who comes, in as the first-round pick from North Carolina, you see vision, you see burst, you see an ability to accelerate on the second level, and you see power. And so all these things come together. I think they've got a chance to have a really special rookie year for Omarion Hampton. Najee Harris, I think, lost a little bit of his ability to compete, but he's going to give you some good depth at the position. And, the offensive line, you're managing that loss of Rashawn Slater, but it still should be one of the better groups in the league. Certainly one of the top half, in the top half of offensive lines across the NFL. And I think it can, in time, grow into a top 10 unit based on the pieces that they have up there. Remember, even without Rashawn Slater, there are 3 former first-round picks on that line in Johnson, Mekhi Becton, and of course, Joe Alt now at left tackle.